At this point, I feel like my brand is just overly ambitious TBRs. Hey everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a TBR of all the books I want to read in autumn. For the American girlies, I am talking about fall. It is fall season, but over here in the UK we do call it autumn. I have a huge pile of books behind me of roughly 30 books that I really want to read this autumn. We have a lot of fantasy. We have a lot of ambitious reads. I've tried to be a little bit strategic in that if I have a long series that I want to read, I've only put the first few books on here rather than the whole series, because then like if I put an 8-book series on here and I didn't even read the first one, straight away I basically failed the TBR. So there are some trilogies in here, some duologies, but there are also the beginning or the continuation of some series. We also have some romance and we have a few spooky books. And I guess I'm just going to take you through all these books, let me know which ones I should prioritize. And I think we'll start with fantasy because that is the biggest genre. First up, I would like to continue the Plated Prisoner series. So we have Glint here by Raven Kennedy. This is the second book in the Plated Prisoner series. I really liked book 1. I rated it 4 stars. That's 3. I rated it 4 stars and I'm super excited to see where this takes us because I felt like it ended on a really interesting note. I feel like we're going to get some romance in this book, which there wasn't any in the other one. And I'm super excited to see what Miss Raven Kennedy does with this world. I feel like it would not be a TBR video of mine if I didn't put a few Zodiac Academy books on here. This is another series where I was like, not gonna put the whole series on this list. I am making my way through this series slowly but surely because these books are big. So I put 2 full-length books on the TBR and then 1 novella because like if I finish a book and there's a 100-page novella after, I'm reading it, you know? So first up we have book 4, Shadow Princess. This is a book I've read before. It's the last book on my like reread because I read the first 4 books when I was doing a 30 books in 30 days challenge, so I didn't really remember a whole lot of it because I was reading these at like 5 AM. So this time I am taking my time and this is the last one I have to reread, and then the rest I've never read before and I am so excited. This one is going to bring me a lot of emotional pain. I already know that, so I feel like I can prepare. But knowing the Twisted Sisters, it's still going to rip my heart out. Then, of course, we have book 5, Cursed Fates, another one that is apparently going to rip my heart out. And this is where the writing starts to get very small. So, like, already these books are big enough. Like, this one, how many pages? 650, and the writing is that big. I think the ebooks are getting for like 900 pages. And then the novella I was talking about, book 5.5, The Big Ass Party. This is very big writing, a very short novella, and if I'm gonna finish book 5, I'm of course gonna read this because it is not a commitment, you know? Moving on, we have a series I am so incredibly excited for. I have started book 1 and I already know I'm going to love this series, the Witch Walker series by Teresa Weeks. So book 1 is The Witch Collector. I am about exactly 100 pages in to this book and I am loving it. I think it's so interesting and unique and I'm just having such a great time, so of course I was going to put this on the TBR. We then have book 2, getting a bit thicker. The first book's only like 350 pages. I feel like this one is 500, so we're getting a bit thicker. The writing is pretty small, but this is called City of Ruin, and we've already referenced the City of Ruin in the other book, but like I don't really know anything about it yet, so I'm really excited to see how this series goes. And then I also have it's technically a novella, but it's quite a long one. I think it's like over 250 pages. It's called The Wolf and the Witch. I don't know what this is about, obviously, because I haven't even read book 2. How am I gonna know what this one is? But I'm super excited to get to this series, and I think it's gonna be one I put in a reading vlog because I feel like it's very popular. And that's one little stack of fantasy. We have 2 more stacks to go. I told you this was fantasy based. How can I make this video without putting Powerless on here? I have wanted to read this since it came out. I've owned the book since it was first traditionally published. I've been following the author since before she even self-published it. And I still haven't read these books. I cannot believe it. So, of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have Powerless by Lauren Roberts, Powerful, and then Reckless. All my friends have read and loved this. I don't understand why I haven't got to it yet. I think it's because, I don't know, the hype is just so high that I feel like I don't want to set unrealistic expectations for the books, but I fear I already have. But either way, I think this is another one I want to put in a reading vlog, maybe like a 24-hour readathon of trying to get through this TBR. And maybe we'll start this series. I don't know. Let me know which books from this, by the way, you want in reading vlogs. Spoiler free. I guess I could do a full spoiler, but I've never done that before, so I don't know how that would go. But let me know, because I'm happy to include all of these if you want it, honestly. Then we have a trilogy. We have the Prison Healer trilogy by Lynette Noni. Elle, if you're watching this, I promise you I'm going to get to these soon. My friend Elle loves these books and I can't believe I have not read them yet. So we have the Prison Healer, of course, and then I think the second one is the Gilded Cage and the third one is the Blood Traitor, but those two might be mixed up. I'm obsessed with this cover. Oh my goodness, I just realized, like, I knew they were pretty, but that is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to get to these. I know nothing about them other than I assume she's a healer in a prison. Speaking of trilogies, we have the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy by Kerri Maniscalco, Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Curse, which I think is the biggest one, and then Kingdom of the Feared. This is my favorite cover. I am so excited for these. I wanted to read them since the first one was out. I feel like the writing is a bit more complex. I don't actually know where I got that opinion from because I obviously haven't read these, but I've been a bit intimidated and I don't know why. So hopefully I'll get to these and maybe I'll bring you guys along with me for these as well. I have so many ideas for different reading vlogs and I want to try and include as many of these books as I can in them. This is the last fantasy series and it is arguably the biggest and most intimidating one. Can't believe I'm saying that when Zodiac Academy is on here, but guys. Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I have read and adored ACOTAR. I love that series so much. I'm a Nesta defender till I die. And I thought it was finally time to embark on the Throne of Glass journey. So, by the time this video goes out, I'll have already finished the Assassin's Blade. So anyone that's going to tell me where to put that, too late, I've already finished it. I'm so sorry, but like I can't go into a couple books not knowing what's going on just for emotional impact. I need to know everything that's going on, especially in a fantasy series. I am not smart enough to be confused. So I've put the first 4 books on my TBR. We have Throne of Glass, of course. We have Crown of Midnight, which I've heard so many good things about. We have Heir of Fire. I'm so excited. These books are already getting thick. And then we have Queen of Shadows, which I've heard is so many people's favorites, which is like, I feel like that's quite rare to have a favorite book in a series be like a middle book and not the last one or something. So I'm so excited. I thought I'd stop there because after this one is the tandem read and I think I want to do the tandem read, but it's going to take me a while. So I didn't want to put those on my TBR just in case. I feel like that series needs no explanation. I'm sure you know what it's about. I know nothing about what it's about, so I couldn't even tell you anything. So that's all the fantasy. Let's move on to romance. So I do have a few lighter rom-coms and then I have a few that I think are more, maybe they have a mystery subplot or they're a darker romance or something like that, because I feel like that's full vibes. It sounds really weird to me saying that because like I said, it's autumn where I'm from. First up we have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. The only reason I haven't picked this up yet is because of how big it is. I've never rated a book by Lauren Asher less than 4 stars. This is the only one from her I am yet to read and I just know I'm gonna love it. Like the tropes are so up my alley. I'm so excited and I'm scared. This book's like 600 pages long. Over 600 pages long. Oh my goodness. But I love long romance books, so I don't know why that is intimidating to me. So I want to get to this one. Sticking with the pink theme, we have Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I'm so excited. I love Ali Hazelwood's writing so much and I can't wait to see what she does with this book. I don't know if it's like STEM related because she's been stepping out of that recently. I'm gonna go into it blind and just see what happens. And then of course we have Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I reread Magnolia Parks. I don't know when this video is coming out, but I read it in August. That might be last month, that might be this month, depending on how ahead I am of schedule. I'm gonna reread this one, and then I haven't made it any further into the series, so after this it will be like first time experience. But honestly, my memory is so bad that I don't remember too many details of this book, so I feel like I'm gonna get the emotion all over again, and I'm so excited. I'm saying that for all the books because obviously I'm excited for them all, but Daisy hates. I feel like I'm gonna be a Daisy girly. Then we have the first 2 books in the Edens series by Devney Perry. I think this is like a romance with a murder mystery subplot. This is Indigo Ridge, and then we have Juniper Hill, and I think this series follows like a family where each of the siblings gets their own love story, so I'm excited to meet the family. Then going for the dark vibes, we have Gothicana by Runix. I think this is like, is it dark academia romance? I don't actually really know, but I've been waiting for autumn to read this book. I feel like it's the perfect dark vibes. I keep saying that with books I obviously haven't read before, but I just feel like it is going to be. This playlist is so long, by the way, if my camera would focus. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. The first 2 books in the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark. I do want to read this whole series hopefully this year. It was in my like end of year, second half of the year TBR video, but I have just put the first 2 on here for now. We have Brutal Prince and Stolen Heir, and I read the first couple chapters of this one and I am absolutely loving it already. We're nearly at the end. That is the end of romance, and I just have a couple more books here that I think they are horror, I think. But I'm not completely sure. I know this one's horror. Okay, we have Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. This is about, I think a boy keeps drawing pictures and they slowly start getting creepier and creepier, and it's like he's being haunted or something. And the pictures start out pretty innocent. I'm trying to flip to one that's not going to spoil anything. The pictures start out pretty innocent, like that's just like a cute little drawing, and they slowly get to be like that. I'm scared, and I've heard to read this physically, not with the audiobook, because obviously the pictures give a lot of creepy vibes. And then the last book on this TBR is of course a Stephen King book. We have The Outsider. I'm pretty sure this is one you have to read after the Miss Mercedes trilogy, which I just finished, so perfect timing. I know nothing about this, but Stephen King is the king of horror, so even if this is not the horror genre, it's going to be grotesque and creepy anyway, and I feel like that perfectly encapsulates autumn. Those are all the books on my full autumn TBR. I think that was 30 books exactly, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna count. Let me know what I should prioritize, what you want to see in reading vlogs, what you want to see just like in videos in general. Maybe not like centered around the books, but have them be things I read. I am open to any suggestions, always, you guys. But that's everything from me. If you would like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe, as I post new videos every single week. If you want to be notified when I upload, be sure to click that notification bell down below. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in another video. Bye. Now I've got to put all these back on my shelves.